it's very difficult for me to talk about.
I'm listening. No, this is background. Carry on. I'm listening. I'm just. She and I are having a moment.
She is. I need to make her come out more, but that's her.
Yesterday, I literally tried to put a remote control onto a shelf, and it flew out of my hand. I was like, "How does a human do that?" Ursula Gullow is a local artist here in Asheville, and she's also one of my oldest friends. Many years ago, I was in a used bookstore in downtown Asheville, and I saw these incredible paintings on the wall that were by her. Maybe a year or so later, I got the opportunity to take a class with her. What I remember most about meeting Ursula for the first time, and I was really nervous that she was going to be this scary figure that wouldn't think I had any talent and would make me feel really bad about myself. Not because I thought she was a bad person, but my experiences with art teachers had been very negative up to that point. She was affirming, she was calm. Under her tutelage, I think my painting improved and my artistic skills improved. And for that, I'll always be grateful.
A lot of the paintings that are up are not mine here. So this is Connie Bosted's painting. She passed away, but that's a painting of my friend Elise, who, this was painted years before I met Elise, actually. So it's a painting by a person I really like, of a person I really like, before I met either of them. So I kind of love it for that reason. And I have a lot of stuff on the floor. It's my little space. I wish I had a studio like 4 times this size, but this is what we work with. I also actually work on the porch too in the summer when it's nicer. But I love my studio. For me, all my artwork is about like the agency I feel as an artist in the studio. So really it all comes down to that. I mean, and that's what I love about having a studio is like I can make my own messes and clean them up as I want to. But I realize that's also a privilege that not everyone has. So. Is really about extracting ornamentation and ornamental elements from historic paintings.
Nice.
And just generally these kind of things are thought of as feminine and passive and frivolous. But to me, I just want to make it kind of aggressive and almost like hyperbolic in your face. These are little like watercolor paints, and I've been making them here. Paint.
Like a pestle and mortar type thing.
Yeah, and you just ground the pigments on there and you add other things to it. But I really love the way these look like. They're like little gems to me. So I'm hoping to use them in an installation. Very cool. Or sell them. But I do like, can I show you one?
Yeah.
I got into working with watercolor paint. Mm-hmm. And so I made these as palettes to mix the paint on. And then I got excited about making my own paint. So these are intended to be palettes. And then these are like the little paints that you would have with your palette.
When you say you make your own paint, what do you mean? Is it like a pre-made solution, or are you literally going from like...
I'm using ground pigments, gum arabic, a little bit of clove oil and honey. And that's really all you use for watercolor paint.
And what's the advantage of making them yourself?
It's fun. Someone, like a student from a class, gave me a bag of ground pigments that they got from, I think, India. I don't remember. This was years ago, and I've had this bag sitting here, and I've been wanting to make them into paint. So I got interested in making watercolor paints because there's this whole niche world of watercolor, like micro watercolor paint makers that I discovered, and it's just sort of fun and relaxing to me to make, my own paints and own colors and things like that. Look how gorgeous this color is. Like, to me, I just love like the way watercolors work. There's just such a gorgeousness to them. Isn't that pretty? It's so satisfying to me. I love that color too. And it's a color, I mixed a couple of pigments to get to this color. Yeah, I got into making like tools for the art studio, like these like kind of very decorative ornamental tools that are functional, but they have a very specific function, and they're mostly like beautiful, which is a lot of the decorative art in the 18th century. So like this is actually a glitter shaker. So it has glitter in it, and then it comes out at the top. I'm gonna try to demonstrate it. I think this has glitter in it. I can't remember. We'll see. Oh, it does. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Or, I don't know. I love glitter, and I love the idea of having this like very ornamental, like intense object for something lowbrow like that.
I really like the idea of just things being pretty that are useful.
I love it too. To me, these things are pretty, but I think they're also very clumsy the way I make them. They're not like super refined.
But that's fine.
That's me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like what it is. And then this is the objects on the wall here. And then it's sort of breaking open to this like outside world. And then this is this side of the studio here. So that's like, it's a big painting of it's my studio, but it's like also kind of reaching out into other like historical painting, landscape, like paint making tools. I started with the, like, just painting the still life, like starting with that, and then everything else sort of grew out of that. So I wasn't sure right away. But I really like making paintings of interior spaces right now.
Sorry.
Just kidding.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
This is a very important vase to me too. It has been in so many things, and I just got it last summer. A friend just randomly gave it to me, but I have put that in a lot of my paintings recently. And
Why?
Because it totally embodies that kind of kitsch, rococo sort of decorative art, mythological fantasy, ornamental, kind of cheap. Like, it's not an expensive vase. I don't think that that's like a valuable vase, but it's sort of appears like that. It kind of mimics it. When he offered it to me, I was like, oh, this embodies all of the stuff I did my grad show on. Like the ornamental, like that, like all of these like decorative applications. But I really don't know when it was made. I love it. I love this vase. It has
It's also the same color, that blue that you really like. It's very similar.
It is, you're right.
No.
And then there's this painting that's based on Boucher is his name.
Yeah.
It's based on one of his like boudoir paintings, but I kind of reinterpreted it. I realized like a lot of the stuff I've been doing lately is like women in spaces. Women in like rooms. I tend to do the same motif or narration many times.
As someone who aspires to lead a more creative life and have creative pursuits central to my daily life, it really is a treat to be in a studio with someone who is an established artist and who does this full time. Because you start to understand the discipline and work that goes into living this kind of a life. And I want to thank Ursula for letting me and my terrible camera skills into this space.